Yeah, so you all went and chose 4 random numbers, and then we compiled a lot of them, and this is the histogram we got. What would we expect this to look like if you guys were actually picking random numbers?
Flat. They're all flat line.
Yeah, you should probably I would expect it to look, flat at whatever the average here is. You guys see that? Like, So what conclusions can you draw from this?
We really
People
love
are
the number
random.
4.
Well, someone does.
Yeah, 1, people are not random. 2, Christian really loves the number 4. So I think we can all guess Christian's pin.
My pin actually doesn't even contain that number.
That narrows it down.
That helps. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, which pin are you talking about?
Okay, so
Because I've got a few.
that aside, it should also be noted that there is an important actualization for this, which is we are actually pretty close to picking random numbers here. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Like this is relatively close.
I feel like with the wording of the problem between 1 and 10.
Yeah, 1 and 10 maybe got undercounted because I said between instead of like including the ends or whatever. Right? But roughly we're uniform here. You guys see that? Like we favored smaller numbers a little bit. I think if you do this a lot, you'll find that people tend to favor 2, 3, and 4, and 7 for some reason.
It's prime.
7's considered a lucky number, right?
Yeah, lots of people kind of think 7 is lucky, so they'll pick 7.
Well, it's like in between the common numbers and 10. So
Yeah.
you just,
I mean, if we ignore 4, because it got repeated a bunch, which is unfair, but still. But the highest ones would be our primes.
Yeah, that's also true. People tend to like prime numbers for some reason. Like they tend to think about them a little bit more. I don't know why.
They're interesting.
They're interesting. Some people think they're interesting and the other people don't care about numbers. So if the other people are all random, right, and then some people care about primes, the primes will end up a little bit more common. Right? There is an interesting thing here, which is that we picked this roughly flat, right? Which means that if you were going to make books for accounting, like if you were going to sit down and purposefully just randomly put numbers into doctor like books, right? Like you're laundering money and you want to hide it, and so you have a fake set of books. You like make numbers up. You're roughly going to be flat across this. Interest doesn't work that way. Interest will tend to skew towards the lower numbers. So there's actually a forensic accounting tool where we just like scan the books and make a histogram of all the numbers. And if it looks pretty flat, you probably made that shit up. Right? And if it's skewed up this way, then we believe you. You guys cool with that? So there is a cool tool for this.
That's pretty simple.
But human beings are really, really bad at random. Okay? If you take nothing else from this class, human beings are really bad at random. They're really bad at estimating how much their expected payout is for something that's pretty unlikely. You guys want another example of that?
Yes.
People actually buy a lottery tickets expecting to win.
Okay, yeah, aside from that one. So the other one that's happening in our society currently is that people are scared of mass shootings. Mass shootings account for 4% of gun-related homicides. Not gun deaths, but gun-related homicides. 4%. Right? That means your probability of being involved in a mass shooting is pretty much 0. Like, gun-related homicides are not really all that common in our society anyway. They've been on the decline pretty steeply since the 90s. So that's one of those things, like, it's a horrible event, right? And because it's so traumatic and gets so much media coverage, we overestimate the odds of that occurring, which accounts for the increase in concealed carry, right? Because people are scared. But they're scared of an event that doesn't occur that often. They should be scared of things like accidental discharge of their concealed carry weapon, which is much more common and really actually quite dangerous. Cool? That's my social justice thing for the day.
And
You can apply the same
become-
sort of thing to plane crashes and car crashes.
Yeah, that's also true, right? You're much safer flying, but many more people are scared to fly than they are to drive. The same thing goes for rock climbing. I've been having this kind of open discussion with the administration and the risk management people on campus about the climbing down in the Arboretum. There's been one major injury down there, and it was from a kid who was drunk and fell off a rock. Not a climber, but a drunk kid wandering around in the rocks. He thought he was climbing.
I was climbing.
And
When
you,
when
no,
that was
we're
your
not,
fault.
no, we're not.
Yes,
Okay, it was totally my fault.
it was your fault.
He was flying.
You're still fine.
It hurt really bad.
You
But
took
you're-
me to
Those
cats.
Can we not have this conversation on
Fine.
camera? Anyway,
It's on camera.
so I get these like, hey, climbing's dangerous. We should maybe think twice about allowing that to happen on campus. And I'm like, you know what's actually dangerous? Driving. Driving's dangerous. We should think twice about allowing cars.
What was their response to that?
Their response was, climbing seems really dangerous. And I said, okay, worldwide, since ever, there have been no recorded fatalities doing the kind of climbing that's on campus. There have been, on this campus, fatalities driving. Yeah. So, people are bad at estimated relative risk. Keep that in mind.